during the same time, both playing bass and screaming, but also learning classical guitar and doing finger-picking songs inspired by Silvio Rodriguez and other South American composers. But I guess with each year we had less and less interest with my hardcore band, and I started studying at the university, and then I felt like I didn't have enough time to spend on these like hobby bands. We did our recordings, but not that much happened. But with my solo music, it was different. I kept on recording once in a while, usually cassettes, and then also a 7-inch that I put on my friend's label. And that 7-inch got picked up by a label in Stockholm. And that's when I sort of switched from biochemistry to music full time. And with music, it was only my solo music. To start with, it was the music that my father listened to when he was young. So he used to sing in Argentina with his friends, and they would sing Beatles, Bossa Nova, and yeah, the voice of John Gilberto is like the characteristic sound of bossa. So I grew up with John Gilberto and was always inspired by that simplicity and the style of singing that's very calm, similar to Chet Baker. So singers who don't really shout that much. It's very soft and it's close to the mic. Yeah. And so yeah, very inspired. So the string theory is basically an orchestra collective based from Berlin, but also Gothenburg, in Sweden. And they invited me as one of many artists to do one song each with them in Gothenburg, 2008, I think. And I liked it so much that I invited them to do a full show a couple of years later, and then we started touring together as a 22-piece orchestra, basically, around Europe and the States. Yeah, it's a very eclectic but very talented collective. So they did arrangements for all my songs, and some are very classic and harmonic, and some are more experimental. Yeah, the recording was basically we just wanted to document what we were doing. So the easiest way was just to record our live shows, because it's such a big production. We didn't feel like we had the time or money to go into a studio, and so we just recorded each show on that tour in Europe, and picked out the favorite songs for the double LP album. Well, it's in that case, I just wanted to have my friends adding the harmonies and the percussion from partly from the recordings, but then also just to embellish the sort of sparse recordings that I've been doing at home. So yeah, collaborations are a bit different from time to time. In that case, I just wanted to do more of a Crosby, Stills, Nash mixed with Latin American percussion. So my father used to sing in an Argentine folklore band, so that basically harmonies, bombo, like a bass drum, and 2 or 3 guitars, and that sound is, I think, something that I assimilated. Also the music of Mercedes Sosa, you can hear that, like the influences, I think, pretty clear. And in a way, I can never grow out of Silvio Rodriguez, because it's so similar to what I'm doing today, that even though I never liked his voice like 100%, it's like my main inspiration. The interesting thing with Silvio is that I grew up with 2 of his albums, and from that I was really small, those were like in the background, and I was hearing them, and it wasn't until my later teenage years that I discovered, oh, he's made many albums. so it was nice to sort of learn more about him later.